National Signing Day is just 1 week away, and to get you ready for the big event, here on the BWI Daily Edition, we've been trying to get as many former Penn State player prospects, guys that are going to commit to the class of 2023 on the show as we can. And I'm very excited about the fact that we have the most recent Nittany Lion joining the show today. He committed yesterday, and now he's on the show today. The first two-time guest on the show, by the way, Mason Robinson. He's coming up on the BWI Daily Edition. Mason Robinson, the most recent Penn State commit, as I just mentioned in the open, joins us here on the show. Welcome back, Mason. Thanks so much. We're recording a little bit earlier, so we're in the middle of one of the most hectic days of your life, I imagine, one of the biggest days of your life. So first off, thank you, and secondly, congratulations on committing to Penn State. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. Thank you for having me on the show. It's good to make history as the second time, as my second time coming back. It's great to make history, But no, in all seriousness, this day has been a really good day, and I was just talking to you earlier, and I believe that everything happens for a reason. So it's good to get a second chance at a school like Penn State for them to still be interested in me after being committed to Northwestern. And I just want to say I'm blessed, and it's an honor to be on the show again. So thank you.
So we'll get to all of that stuff, but the most important thing I got to ask you is, how is Nova? Last time we talked to you, had just gotten your puppy. How's Nova doing?
Today is actually her birthday on the 13th when we're filming it. But she turned 2 today, so she's about 14. She's still like energetic, and I don't know. She's all over the place at all times, but she's still a house dog. She's just a little ball of energy. She hasn't really grown at all. She's probably about maybe 10 pounds, maybe, if that's like on a good day. But yeah, she's cool. She be chilling.
Well, that's good to know that everyone's committed to Penn State. Sounds like Nova's going to be a future Nittany Lion as well.
Yes,
It's
sir.
been a big couple of weeks for you. How have you handled the whirlwind of events and the emotions over the last 10 days?
Right. It has been a little bit of a up and down roller coaster. When I first decided to decommit, I talked to my family. We all talked it over, and we just thought it was the best decision. It just made the most sense. Things happen, and I learned that college football is a business, so you can't let your feelings get involved. And I decided to decommit. I hit up Coach Franklin, and his feelings haven't changed for me. And Coach Guy and the other coaches, like, they're still genuine, which is surprising because I decommitted from them, and they showed me so much love. It was like nothing ever changed. And then I called Coach Franklin, and they was like, "We would love to have you still, even though you did us wrong and did us dirty." He was like, and Coach Scott was like, "I was hurt, man. That was a sad day for me." But yeah, it was a tough journey. It was a long journey too, and I just want to thank my dad and my parents and my mom and my coaches and my teammates for just helping me through this process. So yeah.
You mentioned, and I know you very close with your family, how much did you lean on them through this process, and how much were they involved in ultimately leading to what you've decided over the last couple of days?
In every decision that I made so far, it was me and my family going through it each and every way. I don't know how some people do it. I'm blessed enough to have both my parents and 2 sisters helping me through this process. So, they're the backbone to me. And this whole process, like, I don't know where I would be if I wasn't who I was, and my parents didn't help me throughout this process. I don't even know how I would talk to coaches if it wasn't for my dad and like all the life lessons that I've learned from him and my mom. So yeah, I'm blessed to have them and my sisters by my side. So yeah.
I apologize if I misheard this, but did you say a second? You mentioned a second chance at Penn State. Were you previously committed and it wasn't public, or was that something that you were strongly leaning that way, and then you kind of changed your decisions in the spring when you committed to Northwestern?
So Northwestern and Penn State it was like neck and neck for me. It in the spring, right? So I had chose Northwestern because of the education, but then but like it was literally neck and neck. Like they both checked off so many boxes. I wrote a pros and cons list, and I sat down and I checked off and crossed off boxes that they all, and they were all perfect. But then something that I thought Northwestern had over Penn State at the time was the education. But later on down the road, like a couple weeks ago, things happened, and the defensive coordinator left and the D-line coach left. So I had to make a decision, and so now I ended up at Penn State.
So that's a lot of stuff to have to go through to make a decision. And I know that the last time you and I talked, you've been very serious throughout this process of you're not necessarily interested in the flash and putting out top 5 lists, and
Right.
You wanted to make a sound decision. So how did this process of having to do that, where do you think you've matured through the last year during this process?
I still remember my the first time Penn State talked to me. It was Kenny Sanders. I don't know if you know who he is, but he's a McDonough alum too. He called me. He was like, "Hey man, can I speak to Mason Robinson?" I was like, "This is him." He was like, "Yeah, I work at Penn State." He was giving me like his background and about McDonough. He was like, "Now I work for Penn State, and I would like to give you a full ride scholarship to Penn State." I was like, "What?" And this is I think this was during COVID. So Penn State was like my second offer. And I was like, wow. I ran downstairs, I hugged my mom, hugged my dad. And he was like, you're not serious. Like, stop playing. And then I was like, yeah, I'm so serious. And then my mom started crying, and she's very emotional. But anyway, from that point, like, I didn't really know much about the process. Like, I was my parents were like going in it blind, and we didn't know who to ask and what question to ask the coaches, and how to find out if an offer was committable, if it really meant something. And then like now, obviously I've been through it. I can ask my teammates who've also been through it, like Denai and Curtis, and so it's been great. It has been a long process, but once again, I'm blessed to be able to go through it, because some people would love to be in my shoes, but some people are just more blessed than others. So, I'm very thankful to be in the position I am today.
So through all of that, what have you learned about yourself? What do you think what things that you've discovered about yourself that you didn't know before? Not just through the recruiting process, but also just, you're a senior in high school and you went through your final season of high school football. What have you learned about yourself throughout this journey?
So this year, speaking on my high school career, especially this year, every year I've been in high school, like there's always somebody older than me that like I can look up to. Like with my freshman year was Curtis Jacobs, sophomore year was COVID, but junior year was Denai and Preston and Quan Williams and Stephon Egby, and then this year it was no one to really look up to. So like every other year I was looking for somebody to lead, like I wasn't a born leader. And but this year I really had to step into that role, and I learned to stop looking for people to make decision and to make a decision on my own. And whether it's right or wrong, leaders make decisions that are the best, that they think are the best, and they'll live and die by that decision. And I learned how to be a really good leader, and how to care for people, and how to uplift my teammates when time gets hard. So
there's a lot of interesting things that we can dive into, but in that learning to be a leader, how do you think you came out of that, and do you think you're the leader you want to be, and how much growth do you want to do in that area to be more of what you just stated?
Right. I mean, obviously, like there's always room for improvement, no matter what you do in life. But yeah, I would love to, like, my goal and what I see myself going, like being in the future, is a future CEO. I never wanted to work for somebody. I never had a job, never had a 9 to 5, a 9 to 5. And I've been blessed to not have to be in that position and only play football and only do school. And I hope for one day I'm able to be such a leader to where I can make money doing it, and I can enforce and do different stuff just based upon what I say and how I influence people. So yeah.
So no, not, no big deal. No gigantic goals like being a CEO or playing in the NFL or anything like that. I love talking to you and players and people in positions like you're in, because you don't worry about that stuff. You genuinely go for it and have gotten to yourself in this position. So incredibly impressive list of goals you've got there.
Thank you.
I wanna preface my next couple questions just with the general. Did you watch Penn State last year? I know you're committed to a different program. Did you watch any of the Penn State and the Penn State defense last year?
Yes, sir, I did. I'm so I don't really watch a whole lot of football. I know that might sound weird, but like as a football player, like I don't really like watching other people play football because I'm so zoned in on myself and how to make myself better. So I just watch film on myself and I critique little things, and I'm trying to improve my game each and every day. But when I was watching football, I was watching Northwestern, Penn State. Like I was all over the place. And my dad, he's a football connoisseur, so so he breaks down the games a lot and tells me how to improve my game and tells me who to watch and what to look up. But yeah, I was watching Penn State a lot. I saw Denai. He had a great season this year, and Chop, to Curtis, all of them, Devon, PJ, and and their defense really gets after it. Like they attack. There's no reading or nothing. You just attack, go upfield and fly upfield and just make a play, and that's what I love.
Yeah, so did that you set me up perfectly. Did Manny Diaz's style and the scheme and really seeing it, because you were probably told about what this defense was going to be in the
Right.
spring, but seeing it, did that have an influence on you and where you are today?
Right. I was actually so when I went on my official visit, Coach Diaz had showed me clips and showed us clips about last year and about how his style of defense actually works, and he was telling me and my family that so as a DN or as a D lineman, all you gotta do is fly a field and just go vertical. You don't have to go side to side. There's none of that. You just go upfield. Don't worry about a reach block. Don't worry about none of that. You go upfield, make a play, and then let the linebacker sniff it out and play side to side and play fast. You know. So I thought that's a great defense for me. I don't have to worry about fighting over top of the reach. I could just go straight. I can get reached, and I can still make the play based on his defense. So I love it.
That's super interesting. Where do you fit? I don't know if you talk about specific position. Obviously, you're a defensive end, but do you know like how you'd like to fit into that picture?
What do you mean? If you don't mind me
Well, strong side, weak side. I'm not even sure. I apologize. The question is poor because without knowing the structure of the defense, is there a
Right.
difference, or are you playing defensive end? You're coming in, you're playing that position, and there's not much more than that.
So they said that they don't have a strong side and weak side, so it's just left and right. I gotta ask more questions, but I'm pretty sure that it's just like defensive end and there's no strong side, weak side. But
Gotcha.
yeah, I'll be playing defensive end. So yeah.
Well, one thing I do know is I got to ask: have you been practicing your zone drops? Because that's a big difference between
Right.
what we've seen previously and with Manny Diaz. So, is that something you've been working on?
Yeah. As an athlete that I pride myself after being from being an athlete. There's many things I can improve on, but like the things like dropping and stuff, I haven't done it in the past, so it will take a little bit getting used to. But I have been working on it, and this all season I'll work on a lot of different things and a lot of different techniques. And then once I get up there, I'm pretty sure that they'll help me out with that too. So I'm just getting ready to compete.
I'm chomping at the bit to get into that some of that stuff. But the last thing I'll ask you is, what's next for you right now? In Are you doing other sports, and do you plan on enrolling early?
Right. Um, Other sports. No, I used to play basketball, and then everybody else started getting taller than me, and then it was just I just I had trouble putting the ball in the hoop, so I just said no, I'm not good at it. I kept getting hurt, so I was like, nah, it's just not even worth it. So right now,
Mason,
yeah,
I never thought we would have that in common. Not once in a million years did I think you and I would have that in common. I had a bigger problem with you when it came to people were taller than me.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm surprised. But sorry, I cut you off. Continue.
Yeah, but so basketball, I'm not doing it. So right now, I'm just lifting, trying to get bigger, faster, stronger, and then so after I sign, I'm gonna meet with the I'm gonna Zoom with the strength and conditioning coach at Penn State, and then we're gonna set up a plan for me with my diet and stuff like that, and then in the spring, I don't know, I might do track because I'm not enrolling early. McDonough is like a little weird with that, to where they don't allow
Right.
their students to do that because I was trying to go last year, but they were like no. Um, so yeah, I might run track, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that's correct. I apologize. I forgot about that with McDonough. You
Right.
set me up perfectly for this, though. This is from the last time you and I talked.
Right now, I'm just trying to get bigger, faster, stronger. That's why I'm doing track to get faster in the weight room with my strength and conditioning coach, also my D-line coach, Coach Daniel Yarborough. Um, we're just in there trying to be more and more explosive, doing a lot of power cleans, hang cleans, squats, deadlifts, bench presses, things of that nature. And I've also been working with Coach Dan on the weekends, during the weekdays, doing some hand stuff, some footwork drills, and things of that nature.
Mason, I'm just going to play this right now. Your senior film, damn, dude.
Thank you.
Talking about all that stuff, you worked on that stuff. It paid off. I am always happy for people who put in the work and they're rewarded for their efforts. Your senior film is some of the most impressive stuff I've seen in a while.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It means a lot.
So, what are you most proud of in terms of accomplishments from your junior season to your senior season, where you're just beating the brakes off these guys? I'm getting distracted by the film. To the question, what are you most proud of that you've worked on this off season into your senior season?
Honestly, I'm not even that proud of how I played. Like I think I did good, but I feel like I could have did better. But what I'm most proud of is how it's how I was able to lead and the stuff I was doing outside of the field to make our boys better. Um, and we were able to as senior captains to push our young group of guys to do better each and every day and each and every week. So yeah, I'm most proud of how our team played and how we came together as a young group of guys. So.
Well, I appreciate that, Mason, and I know that you are the leader you're expressing here right now. But I was watching some film of you this morning, and I saw you take it to a couple 5-star athletes that you played, and just the technique, the everything we talked about the last time we spoke, and then the strides you've made, the effort you've put in. I think you forced 2 fumbles in this game. What are you? What is your aspiration for improvement in your game? Because coming in, I see a lot of things I really like. You talk about Manny Diaz's defense, hitting the B gap from outside and trying to knife in from the edge. That's a thing that they do regularly in this defense. So in terms of your play and these development things, have we just seen scratch the surface from you, or where do you see yourself on your own timeline as a football player?
I think Coach John Scott can really develop me. That's one of the big reasons I chose Penn State. I really believe in him as a coach, and I see because the proof is in the pudding. I saw Devon, he got way better. Denai, he got way better. Chop, he's getting really better. Chop was really raw. He's getting really better, and Denai was really raw, and he's turning it up. So I see what Coach Scott is doing. I really believe that he can make me a whole lot better than what I am right now. So right now it's just the surface, there's no telling of what my potential is until I really get up to Penn State. So I can't wait. I'm so happy.
So last question. You 42, I think, was your original number. You wore 51. What do you want to wear when you get to Penn State?
I want to wear 42. 42 has always been my number. These past couple of years, I had to wear 51 because I had to play O-line, which isn't my strong suit. But because we didn't have enough players on the team, so we had to switch it up. But yeah, 42 is my number. Jackie Robinson is actually he's one of my heroes and somebody that I really look up to. So 42 is just me. So I hope I can get the number. If I can't, I'm gonna have to figure something out. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Well, that's cool, and I like that there's a reason behind the number 2. That's pretty cool. Anything? Right. Here's the thing I've learned is there anything else I should have asked you that I didn't? Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Anything that you didn't ask me? No, man, I'm proud to make history today. I learned that, but yeah, just thank you for having me. I can't wait for Penn State. We got a really good class coming this year. I can't wait to see what we look like this next year. I got my eyes set on that national championship, so can't wait. I'm so excited.
We'll be following your journey as it goes, and we'll have to get you on for a three-peat sometime in the near future. Mason, thanks for your time today.
Thank you.
That'll do it for the BWI Daily Edition. Stay tuned and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube, because Mason isn't going to be the last player we have on the show, whether it's a recruit or it's a player on the team. And, of course, National Signing Day is a week away, so plug yourself into the Penn State Football Network at BlueWhiteIllustrated.com so you get all the information as it happens, because things are heating up. It's December, and it's cooling down, but recruiting, the portal, it's on fire. We'll be back tomorrow on the BWI Daily Edition. We'll talk to you then.